Guinea, because the leaders of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, have suspended Guinea from all ECOWAS governing bodies with immediate effect. The suspension takes immediate effect and will remain so until further notice. This was contained in a communique issued after an emergency ECOWAS meeting was held online yesterday, chaired by our own President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
First of all, I want to thank all of you, especially the heads of state, for acting so promptly and without hesitation to be present at this meeting. I believe that the manner in which, in times of crisis, the leadership of ECOWAS responds is the surest testimony, strength and the commitment that all of us have to the goals of our regional organization. I don't believe that we need to have a long ceremonial opening. All of us know the main matter which has brought us here, which is the unfortunate and regrettable incident that has taken place in Guinea. And it is to discuss that and to discuss our response to this clear violation of our common charter of governance, of good governance in the ECOWAS region, and what decisions we want to take in response.
Let's get more on this and speak with an international relations expert, Vladimir Nchidanso, Dr. Vladimir Nchidanso. Doc, I'm grateful for your time this afternoon. Hello, Dr. Danso.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Yes.
Good to have you. Now, I just want to find out from you your reading of the situation in Guinea and the subsequent suspension of that country from ECOWAS.
Well, the happenings in Guinea were to be expected somehow because of the initial situation beginning from last year, the beginning of the constitution and all the instability that set in after that, then elections, post-electoral problems that they had. It was clear that anything could happen. So when it happened, some of us were not seriously surprised. And again, I'm not surprised that ECOWAS reacted, the EU reacted, the UN reacted, because generally these multilateral organizations have all the unconstitutional means of changing government. For ECOWAS, the protocol in 2001 made it clear. And for AU, the 2004 protocol also made it clear. So I'm not surprised about the happening. The suspensions are in order because of the protocols that are existing. The worrisome situation is why these multilateral organizations would remain reactive organizations instead of being proactive. I'm saying this because when the situation was unfolding in Guinea, there should have been a way of trying to prevent it. And again, not only in Guinea, in most of the Francophone countries in Africa, we see this tendency of changing the constitution midway and asking for another term under the new constitution, interpreted as first term, but then eventually meaning third term. And unfortunately, when these incumbents are able to set themselves in, then ECOWAS will dress up and go for their inauguration. And so for me, we need to interrogate that. We need to be very careful about how we interpret constitutional overthrow of governments or whatever it is. And I think some incumbents in the Francophone countries have a way of throwing away the constitution and installing themselves in. ECOWAS must interrogate them.
If you look at point 10 of the communique that was released after the summit, the online summit yesterday, chaired by President Akufo-Addo, it says that the authority is calling for the immediate return to constitutional order and demands that the defense and security forces maintain a constitutional posture. You and I know that the constitution of Guinea has been in question for some time now. And the reason why many experts say that the suspension wouldn't have been the way to go, but rather a mechanism to actually engage the people in how they intend to review their constitution. What's your own view on this one?
Well, I think I've expressed my opinion on this on several fora. As I've said, it's regrettable that at times we just want to stampede the process. We did that to Mali. We virtually ordered them to return to civilian rule. And it's ridiculous because we know this will not work. They went out from here to a very rapturous acceptance in Mali. They wishy-washy put something in place to please ECOWAS. It didn't work, and they are back in office, the military. If we want constitutional order, then let's protect that order first place before it goes into this bad situation. Secondly, then if it happens, then let us help them to put that constitutional order. Let us not stampede them or them to do any wishy-washy thing. Supposing, without accepting it as a fact, that Doumbouya tomorrow calls for a ballot, and he himself is on the ballot, and he wins, is ECOWAS not going to accept it? Yes, they're going to accept it because it's a ballot. And I have always said that the ballot does not stop the bullet. The ballot does not stop the bullet. Let us help them to put the constitutional order in place. Let us not force them to say tomorrow, let us see a constitutional order. What do we mean by that order? A constitution, election, that's all. Democracy is beyond that. Democracy is beyond just getting a paper for the constitution and an election. So that ballot will not represent a constitutional order. Let us help all African countries. Let us help those in crisis like this to get a constitutional order that is resilient and will be able to stay the day. But if we are forcing them, as I gave an indication, let Doumbouya now come back as a civilian governor of Guinea, then we'll accept it, won't we? So this rush, this stampeding process is not correct.
The situation in Guinea definitely is not one that we wish for any African country. But from the researches that you've conducted and from what you know, how would you recommend that Guinea crosses this hurdle?
My recommendation is not only for Guinea, for every other country. When there is instability, let's have the patience and get the proper democratic order. Ours in Ghana, for example, is a little stable, even though there are hiccups, just because we had the patience. We went into a constitutional order where nobody was on our neck to force us to do it this way or that way. We wrote our own constitution, we voted on it, allowed Jerry Rawlings to come, be part of the ballot, and gradually we are crystallizing our institution. That's how democracy is built. It is a process, not an event. So I would not advise Guinea to rush into anything, but of course not to delay the process where they themselves want to entrench. In that sense, the whole of Africa, especially the multilateral organizations, need to help Guinea build those bridges towards constitutional. First and foremost, we're going there to assess the situation. When we have assessed the feeling of the people, let us help them to have an all-inclusive kind of writing their own constitution. And if they are able to do that, help them build stable institutions. Democracy is built on constitutionalism and institutionalism. Without these, let's forget about stability.
Quite interestingly, I mean, if you look at the communique that was issued yesterday, the point number 11 talks about the suspension, but also B also talks about immediately dispatching a high level of ECOWAS mission to Guinea to assess the situation. So as they embark on that journey, what would you expect to see happen?
Well, as I've already indicated, that journey was very good that we added that. And it falls within the line that I'm towing, that we need to assist them, not stampede and threaten them. So this mission is a fact-finding mission to go and see for themselves. They will see that the people support the coup. They will see the position of Doumbouya in respect to other opposition parties and the incumbent parties. They will know the feeling of the people, the atmosphere, the horizon, the political horizon in Guinea, and then maybe advise. And it is a good line to tow. Very, very good line to do. Fact-finding, a report, and then we would know how to help Guinea.
Dr. Vladimir Enchedanso